Ndewo na ụmụ Igbo n'efifi a anyị nwelu odogwu kala aka na be anyị n'efifi a daalụ na ịnọnyere anyị na Voice of the East. Onye nchọrọ ịkọwalụ gị maka ya, ịmaalụ maka ya, obodo niile maalụ maka ya, Nigeria maalụ maka ya, ọkachasịa n'Igbo be anyị onye anyị ji eme ọnụ, Chief Gaius Chibueze, Bitcoin Chief, founder and CEO of Eastside Ventures, Onyije Motors, Voice of the East, and of course, make Alibo great. He is the mind behind these ventures and these innovations in Alibo. Chief Nosa.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Dalu.
Ademumma Chief.
Okay.
Chief no na banye. Chief onwelo ife mfugasili na-eme kosi na nke battle maka na odogwu a na-afụ n'arọ nke bata make Alibo great again ịghọtago maka na Igbo dị great mana ịbịa bidokwa campaign a n'isi again kedu ife ị na-eche mgbe ibidoro make Alibo great again campaign?
Before now a movement promote an economic Biafra. So I started promoting economic Biafra 13 years ago. Or you fancy that kama are you gonna make agitation? Kama are you gonna know? Are you gonna make all types of internal squabbles, destruction? You see that are you Choripuna Nigeria? You understand? I said instead of the separatist agitation, that what we need is instead of the political or geographical Biafra to cut out Ndi Igbo from Nigeria, which from the looks of things, if you look at it from all angles, is mostly it's almost unrealistic right now.
Right.
Instead of all that, what we should be clamoring for is called economic Biafra. So what do I mean by economic Biafra? Or you fancy that let's come together and invest and develop Ala Igbo. Let's do what the Catalonians of Spain did. So the Catalonians of Spain are a people, a particular tribe of Spain, just like Ndi Igbo.
Okay.
And for so many years, they agitated and said they want to leave Spain. But due to their constitution, it made it nearly impossible.
Okay.
So they couldn't leave Spain. So in the 1950s, they came together. They had a visionary leader that came together and said, let's change our strategy. Okay. We've done this strategy that we want to leave Spain for many years, and this strategy didn't work. Let's change our strategy. Let's invest in our region. Let's transform our region to become the most economically progressive region in Spain. And what has happened is that from that period, when they made this decision to change their strategy, they focus all their attention and investment in their region. Today, anything you want to think about in Spain that is progressive is in their region. Barcelona is in their region.
In that
Ibiza,
Catalonia.
in that Catalonia. So they have become like the economic powerhouse of Spain. So I started the economic Biafra movement to tell our people that instead of fighting, instead of destruction, which has mostly affected us, because the Igbo situation, the Southeast situation has been like someone who is angry with his friend, but instead of cutting his friend, he decides to cut his own hand to show displeasure.
Okay.
So it has that, for example, that people sit at home in the Southeast doesn't affect the Nigerian federal government in any way. It affects the people of the Southeast. So I said, instead of all this agitation and everything, let's get more aggressive investing and developing the Southeast. But in recent years, in the last 8 years, you must have seen that the word Biafra has been very bastardized.
Yes.
Most people have associated it with violence. In fact, if they even say it now as an insult.
It is banned.
Yes. So that's why I personally decided that, okay, it's time to move from economic Biafra, from the word of this movement, economic Biafra, we decided to move it to make Ala Igbo great again, which is MAIGA.
Okay.
MAIGA. So MAIGA actually stands for Make Ala Igbo Great Again. It is a movement that is calling on Ndi Igbo wherever they are. Say, let's invest in our region. Let's focus our attention on our region. Let's build Alibo to become like the days of Okpara. That's why we say make Alibo great again, like the days of Okpara. So the days of Okpara that we're talking about, most people, most Gen Zs today don't know that the Southeast used to be the fastest growing region in the world, ahead of China, ahead of Singapore, ahead of Malaysia. Malaysia, that you know today, is the top 3 exporter of palm oil. Norma, guess what? They came all the way from Malaysia to learn how to do oil farming from that palm oil farming from the Southeast.
I still find that story a little shameful even now.
Yes.
Even now.
So imagine, Nigeria still imports palm oil, but Malaysia is one of the top exporters, and they came to learn from us. So I am saying that the message for MAIGA is, let's focus our attention for the next 10, 20, 50 years and invest and develop Alibo. Let's make Alibo great again. Like even the days of Okpara. If you look around old Eastern region, which Southeast used to be part of, Okpara, who is from Umuahia, from Abia State, Okpara had at least one developmental project in each of the states of the old Eastern region. Today we have like MAIGA, we have like a couple of other projects around that you can see that are legacies of Okpara, scattered in Cross River, in River State, in Enugu, in Abia, in Umuahia, everywhere. So what we are saying with MAIGA is, let's change our strategy. Instead of causing agitation, instead of sitting at home, instead of destruction, instead of trying to scatter our region, let's focus and develop it. So that is the message.
Chief, you truly believe that this is something that we can do as a people?
I mean, it has been done elsewhere. One of the things, there's nothing we want to do that is new. It's just for us to make that solemn resolve and say, okay, Ndi Igbo as a people, we are not investing elsewhere. Look at Lagos, for example.
Yes.
Our people are heavily invested in Lagos. The 2023 election exposed the crack we have among Nigeria's ethnic groups, where they were flogging some of our people and say, go back to Anambra, go back, yes, go back to your state, go back here, go back here, go back here. Now, the person that has built houses, the person that has opened shop, the person that has built companies, how do you tell the person to go back? How will you carry your house from Lagos coming to the Southeast? This is why I have said our people should stop this madness or stupidness. Lagos is what it is today because people made a resolve and say we will invest in Lagos. If you invest today in the Southeast, there are going to be challenges, let's not lie. Just like there are challenges everywhere, and especially in new markets.
Chelo, before you go here, because I want to ask you, why do you think our brothers and sisters don't like coming home? Why are they hesitant? Because I know you have been making this call for a long time.
Yes.
Why do you think our people, here, why don't we want to do it here?
So
what do you think?
First, I must acknowledge there are challenges that some of them are running from.
Tell us,
but
you are
one
invested
thing,
here.
Yes, but one thing I want people to understand is that these challenges are there so that people can take it head on. Some of them are talking about the challenge of insecurity. But the Southeast is not the only region in Nigeria that has insecurity. In fact, statistics came out by StatiSense when they listed top regions for kidnapping and ransom paying. Southeast was not among the top 2. It was number 3. This insecurity of Boko Haram and the rest, it devastates so many places in the north. But guess what? I've never seen northerners fly into Enugu, even during that period when Southeast was mostly safe and the northern Nigeria was being run down by terrorists. None of them flew down here and say, oh, the north is not safe, let me bring my money and invest in the south, in the southeast or south-south. So our people will always have excuse. So, but this their excuse, yes, though some of these excuses are valid. But the truth is, When we all make up our mind and say we want to invest in our region, what is going to happen is that we will join our hands together and start solving those problems that we are using as excuses for not investing in our region.
So these excuses that are preventing us from investing at home is
That
something
that
we
is
can
preventing
solve.
some. It's not
Some.
preventing me.
No, not you.
Yes, definitely, it's not
you.
preventing me.
Not
I'm not
you.
part of that excuse.
No, you're not.
I've said it that all my businesses will start here in the Southeast. In fact, my vision is to build locally and export globally. I founded Voice of the East here in the Southeast. I didn't go to set it up in Lagos, the biggest Igbo media platform. I founded Ohaneze Farm here in the Southeast, the largest fenced livestock farm in the whole of Southeast. I founded Oyije Moto here, the new transport company that is making wave.
Yes.
I started a couple of other businesses here in the Southeast. So I want every other Igbo person, you take risk with your money elsewhere, and especially our brothers in Diaspora. Something pains me with most of our brothers in Diaspora. You go to the United States, God has blessed you, you suffer, you make money, and you come to Nigeria and you want to invest. There are so many opportunities. The Southeast is still virgin ground for investment. There are so many things. There are so many things that you can invest here in the Southeast. All you need to do is just the same market research you do in Lagos. Do that market research here and find somewhere here and also invest. The more we invest in the Southeast, the more we remove some of these problems. I'll give you an example. I follow this guy on Twitter. This guy is one of all these IPOB members that will say, oh, we will kill, we will destroy. So something happened that is very remarkable, and I share this story anywhere I go. So what happened was that I like the way the guy writes.
Okay.
He has a natural understanding of Ndi Igbo, their problems.
Okay.
But his kind of solution is what I don't agree with.
Okay.
That we must leave Nigeria, we must kill, we must destroy. So one time I sent him a DM. I said, one name, Kekwan. I said, I have been a fan. I follow your write-up. I like how you write. I like your thought process.
Okay.
I said, what do you do? Tell me about yourself.
Okay.
I was him, this is his name. He lives in Anambra State. He's another. He used to be a teacher, but he lost his job. He's been without a job. And right now he's trying to set up a small pig farm for himself.
Okay.
And say, oh, nice. I'm also invested in livestock. So how much do you need to start up that pig farm? He needs 3 million naira. And I told him, I said, okay, yegi 1.5. He bido iru the farm. Build the farm and put some things in place with that 1.5. Send me video showing me how far you have gone, and I will send you the balance of 1.5. And within 2 weeks, I sent him that money. He built it all within 2 weeks. That money finished. He showed me what he has built. I sent him the balance. Now something happened. I noticed that his tone and messaging changed. He was no longer always aggressive. He followed me back. He was no longer always aggressive. Let's kill, let's destroy. If not IPOB, this and that and that again. His messaging changed. He started using his writing to pinpoint ways that Ndi Igbo, he now later agreed with me, started writing ways Ndi Igbo can actually use this insult that people insult us, go back to Anambra and the rest.
Yes.
Use the marginalization. He started writing ways that Ndi Igbo can use it to turn around the fortunes of the Southeast.
Good.
And one day I chatted him up. I said, one name, I like the direction of your message now. And he said he just wanted to thank me. I discovered something from that conversation with him. All this time when he was writing, let's kill Nzobu kind of strategy, it was because he was jobless. He just lost his job as a teacher. He didn't have a business. So most of these people, when you come to the Southeast and create opportunities, you create businesses that employs people, create jobs for most of these our young people that are actually agitating, something is going to happen. Automatically, you will get them occupied. This guy now has a pig farm now. He doesn't post as often as he posts again now. He's busy with his pig farm. He's not contributing to the growth of the Southeast.
And he probably has hired other people.
Has hired other people too that he's paying. He's building a business now. So what is going to naturally happen is that the destroyers have lost one person.
That is true. They've lost
So,
one
so,
person.
so you understand?
Yes.
So this is how we change our region, creating opportunities for our brothers. So all our brothers and sisters in diaspora that are using insecurity as excuse and the rest, how do we solve insecurity? One, creating job opportunities. Igbo people are known to have respect for blood, for someone's life. But the hardship, you understand? And when the people are empowered, they can make good political decisions. Well, I cannot take away the blame from our politicians. Some of the politicians in the Southeast are not progressives. They are very backward in thinking. They just come there. Imagine a particular governor was very proud on TV saying that he give pregnant women 500 naira empowerment.
You saw that and you remember it.
Yes.
that was a low point.
Our politicians have a role too to play to win the confidence of our people. Create more job opportunities. It will automatically reduce insecurity. Help entrepreneurs that are already creating job opportunities, and they will reduce insecurity. And then our people will have that confidence to bring back their money and invest in our region. So I think that problem is there. I acknowledge it, but I am also saying that there is a solution.
Thank you, Chief. So you just mentioned that the government can actually help.
Yes.
In terms of making the place and conducive for businesses to come down.
Yeah.
Are there ideas that you can give the government, things that they need to do, especially our governors in Alibo, that will help?
Yes. So one of those things is called tax breaks.
Tax breaks.
For businesses.
Okay.
Everywhere any business is located in Nigeria, there's a reason. There's a reason why Dangote went to put his, what is this?
The refinery.
Yes, the refinery
Yes.
in Lagos. And he put it in a free trade zone. So our government need to set up more economic free trade zones where they are going to say, okay, for so and so years, you're not going to pay tax. And somebody's bringing a business. Let's say, for example, I am coming into Abia State to build a ranch.
Okay.
The government can say, okay, I'm going to partner with you. Because I am a government, people are going to trust me more to give money. So I will become your partner in this business. I'm just coming back from an investment summit or round table, a road show organized by the Bauchi state government in the southeast. And I read their business proposal, their proposal to investors from the southeast. And one of it is that if you want to establish a business here, we are going to come with 10% of the capital. This
is happening today.
Yes, today.
Because
this event happened today.
We saw snippets of your speech at the event. I wanted to ask you, what were the opportunities that you saw at the Economic Opportunities Exhibition Roadshow for the Nigerians in diaspora? You're about to talk about it. So I'm thinking, is this between the government and Igbos in the diaspora, or this is all government? Could you tell us about it and what it entails?
Okay, so first a background story.
Okay.
So I had this idea a couple of years ago, and one of the ideas was after my interaction with a lot of our people in the diaspora.
Okay.
So I often attend Igbo event. Like in few weeks now, I will be speaking at the World Igbo Congress. I'm guest speaker there. And when I share some of the things I am doing in the Southeast with our people, they said, oh, I never knew this opportunity existed. I never knew, some of them said, I never knew that the Southeast imports 90% of its meat consumption either from the north or from abroad. So talking with our people in the diaspora has made me understand that some of them have the money, they have the resources, but nobody is coming to guide them, to tell them, these are the opportunities you can invest in the Southeast, and this is how you can make money. So I have taken it upon myself and our company, East Side Ventures. So we are going to do a road tour, a road show. It's called the Southeast Economic Opportunities Exhibition Roadshow 2025-2026. That roadshow is going to see us hold this event in the UK, in the US, in Malaysia, in China, and also in Canada. What is the goal? The goal is to showcase, to show our people in the diaspora, all Nigerians in diaspora, whether Ndi Igbo or not, to show them opportunities that they can invest in the Southeast. To also create partnership where we can bring an idea and put 2 or 3 people together to fund those ideas and set up those businesses. So also, it is also an opportunity for people like the commissioners of economic in every state to present opportunities in their state. So it is a roadshow that we are putting together where even governors that are progressives, governors that are forward-thinking, can even take advantage of such kind of events and come and present bold economic opportunities and reforms that they are implementing in their state to attract international investors.
I just get it.
So we are going to be showing our people some of these opportunities. Like I said, for example, let's say I'm a governor of a state. I can come up with an economic policy and say, okay, anybody investing 5 billion naira in my state, the state is going to do something called matching fund. So if you're investing 5 billion naira into, let's say, agriculture in my state, the state is going to put 10% down payment for whatever it is that you want to do. And these are one of those ways that you encourage investors.
So the state participates.
The state participates in investing, because any investment you bring into any state, like for example, my investment in Enugu State, now I built the largest fenced livestock farm in the whole of Southeast in Enugu State.
The Ohanese farm.
The Ohanese farm.
Right.
So the Ohanese farm, when that project was being constructed, I was employing 123 persons per day for 6 months daily.
That's massive.
Now, the Ohanese farm is currently running now, and it has 11 full-time staffs that are working there. These 11 people would have been on the street looking for jobs, but I've created jobs for them. Now, by the time I am also working on setting up the Betanu meat processing plant. Now, once that Betanu is set up now, what I have done now is that instead of raising my cows and goats and chicken and the rest and giving them to other people to go and kill and make money, I am now adding value to those animals by killing and processing it myself. And I can now act in line with the vision of my company, which is build locally and export globally. You understand? So I can be raising the animal here, killing and packaging it here, and then have a cold van distribute to other states in Nigeria, also distribute to African market in diaspora. So the reason for this road show is to show our people. Most of our people have been in the US for the last 10 years. They have not returned home. If you're telling them to come and invest, what are you telling them that they should come and invest? They don't know what to come and invest. They don't even have people that they can trust to guide them. So what my company, Eastside Ventures, and we are going to see how we can partner with any of the state governments interested. And we are going to see how we can also partner with SEDC, which is the Southeast Development Commission. So we are going to see how we can partner with other Igbo organizations. The whole focus of the Southeast Economic Opportunity Exhibition Roadshow is to see how we can bring these opportunities to our people. Most of our people in the US have their money sitting in bank accounts doing nothing. Those monies can be invested in any of the states in the Southeast and create opportunities for our people and create more money for these people. You understand? So we want to take these opportunities to them. They said if, how do they say? If Muhammad does not want to come to the mountain will go to Muhammad.
Definitely show up for Muhammad. Bitcoin Chief Gaius Chibueze is here with us in the Voice of the East studio this afternoon, and we are figuring out a lot of things. Imagine trying to call our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to come home and invest at home, only for them to not know what to invest in. It makes a whole lot of sense. All right. So we are discussing Make Alibo Great Again, a campaign sponsored and founded by Chief himself. And the entire focus of this group and this campaign is to bring back the consciousness of home to our people. Right. Yes. I have a few more questions before I let Chief leave the studio this afternoon. Okay, so the second to the last question that I have for Chief today is, If we are serious about make Ala Igbo great again, where exactly do we start? Like, what's the first thing that we need to do? Is it infrastructure? Is it mindset, orientation? What is it about us that we need to change, and the first move that we need to make?
So making Ala Igbo great again starts with a mindset change. And I will tell you how we can do this holistically and the many fronts that we are going to attack this one.
Okay.
But it starts first with a mindset change. Now, the average new generation Igbo person, as they are finishing their NYC from the southeast, they want to either move to Lagos or Abuja.
True.
And I can't fault them. The reason is because to most of them, especially those looking for jobs, the opportunities in the southeast are limited.
True.
There are no good jobs. You can't have like good paying jobs. House rent is increasing. People's salary cannot match up with their house rent and living expenses. So the first mindset change we need is that we need everybody to look at Alibo as a production ground.
Okay.
This is the vision tagline for our company, Eastside Ventures. It's called Build Locally and Export Globally.
Okay.
So everyone needs to look at Alibo as where you stay to build something and then sell to the world, which is a mindset the Newe people have. Innocent sells cars to other countries in Africa, built from Newe. I used to know a company called Chikason Group. I used to be one of their customers. They produce a particular soap called Demo Care soap. They produce it in Anambra, and I used to distribute that soap to some parts of Cross River and Cameroon.
Okay.
That is the mindset all of us need. So our people need a total mindset overhaul that, yes, there are no much jobs in the southeast. But running away to other places is not the solution.
Chief, how do we change this mindset?
It starts by what we are already doing with MAIGA.
Okay.
Which is telling our people that, yes, this is your father's land. If you can stay back, if you can work together, let's start seeing this place as a production ground. Then the second mindset change is our brothers and sisters who are saying we must leave Nigeria. If they don't let us go, we are going to kill, we are going to destroy. Who are the people I said are like, I am angry with my friend. Instead of slapping my friend, I am cutting my hand. And I am the one crying. My hands. So, you see, the Southeast today, most people don't take the Southeast serious. They say you can't move on Monday because there is sit at home. This has destroyed businesses. This has made many businesses to pack up. So we need our brothers to have a mindset change. We need to do a reorientation campaign that speaks to their conscience. A reorientation campaign that is going to make them understand that for every day you tell people to sit at home and don't go about their businesses, what you're actually doing is that you are killing the Southeast more. I'll give you an example. The last 8 years, the Southeast retrogressed. So we didn't go forward. We kept going backward, and it's going to take us 20 years to even get to where we used to be 8 years ago.
It's going to take that long.
Yes, it's going to take that long. You know, building is hard, destroying is. I can raise this house down with just one matches. Something that took how many months to build?
Goodness.
So you understand? So those people also need a mindset reorientation. Then the most important people, the Igbo diaspora.
Okay.
For so many years, the Igbo diaspora have lost confidence in the political and economic potential of the Southeast.
All the way from out there.
Yes, I am part of the diaspora. I live in the United States. It takes a heart of lion to bring your money to invest here. Last year, 2024, I invested over $2.something million, all sunk here into the Southeast. I am not reaping the fruit yet, but it takes a lot of love to bury that money here, to plant here, because I am building from scratch. So it might take me 5 years to start seeing the result of what I am building. So we need to make our people in diaspora to believe again, to trust again. Because our people in diaspora, most of them sent money back home. But those businesses closed down because of the insecurity. Our people in diaspora, most of them wanted to come back home, but they were chased back because of insecurity. So we have to, that is why we are doing the Southeast Economic Opportunities Exhibition Roadshow, to go show them that things are beginning to change. Ala Igbo is beginning to become again. Our people are beginning to become wiser. Our people are beginning to understand that we were actually hurting ourselves. Please come back. Please give us another chance. Please give your fatherland a second chance. You understand?
If you put it that way.
Yes. Instead, give your fatherland a second chance. Yes. The politicians have destroyed our region. The politicians have failed us. But if we all keep running, these non-entities are going to be the ones in charge of everything. So come back, let's build. When you build, when you create jobs for people, they're able to, if people are gainfully employed, when somebody is sharing 20,000 naira during election to them, it doesn't mean anything to them. They will vote right. So we need to economically empower our people. So this is the message I'm taking to the Igbo diaspora. Give your fatherland a second chance. You have tried before, you have been hurt. You have tried before and it didn't go well. Try once more.
Chief, this
again.
part, I think we should put it on a bumper sticker. Give
Yes,
your fatherland a second chance. It's touching. The message, I have goosebumps. Chief, I have to let you go, but let me just ask you one last question before we shut it down. To the Igbos, to our people who are investing everywhere else but in Ndi Igbo, what do you have to say to such brothers and sisters of ours from your heart of hearts?
Yeah, each time this subject comes up, it's very emotional for me because I see what our people do outside. I see how much our people invest outside. One of our brothers was recently in London to do a road show similar to what I want to go and do now. He was doing it for his real estate company. 70% of the people that attended his event exhibition that he did in London were Ndi Igbo. But guess where the real estate properties he was asking them to invest is located?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, Lagos and Abuja.
I don't want to say.
It's painful. It's painful. It's painful. So our people have invested in everywhere else. They see the Southeast as burial ground, where when they die, they carry them to come and bury. Or Christmas. In short, most don't even come again for Christmas. In fact, one of the governors of the Southeast did his daughter's marriage in Abuja.
Oh yes, we saw that, and okay.
So it's crazy. So it's a sad situation. So my message to our people is, please, be patriotic to your fatherland. If everybody says, oh, this place is not good, I'm not going to invest, this place is not good, I'm not going to invest, what is going to happen is that we will be stuck in this laughing stock that we have become for very long. Every day you get your landlord angry and they will tell you, go back to Anambra, go back to your bush,
go back to Onitsha,
go back to Onisha, go back to Enugu, go back to your forest, go back to Abakaliki.
That's right.
Go back to Imo State, go back to Abia State. This laughing stock is going to be, people are still going to continue laughing at us. I want everybody, I want Igbo, Inegenti, Bikon. All we need is 5, 10, 20 years to concentrate our investment in the Southeast. 5, 10, 20 years. And guess what? With our ingenuity, with our smartness, with our natural business blessing that God has blessed us, we can turn the fortunes of the Southeast. We can make Alibo the most progressive region in Nigeria. Despite all these things that is happening, the Southeast, outside Abuja and Lagos, is still the region with the most buying power.
True.
Even this Abuja and Lagos that has the most buying power is still people from the Southeast.
True.
So, my message to our people is that you have invested everywhere else. But it is shameful if you don't invest even small in your own father's land. People are laughing at you. You think you're smart, you think you're rich, we display wealth. You understand? We are individually rich but collectively poor. You understand? We are individually rich but collectively poor. Let's come back. Let's call for reconciliation and healing. Let's meet our people that have the resources. Let's put our heads together. Let's work together as brothers. Let's work together to remove insecurity from our Alibo. Let's work together to change the mindset of our people. That's my message to everyone.
Thank you, Chief Gaius Chibueze, Aineke, for joining us today and for educating us on what is right. Makwalo na Igbo sina kuluo uno and na esi n'uno we malụ mma we pụba n'ilo. Ngwa bịa na ụmụnne m gbakọ ọnụ jikọta na aka ọnụ ka anyị mekwa ka Ala Igbo dị ebube ọzọ. Daalụ, afa m bụ Nneoma.